But first, Nigel West. He has published several books on intelligence and security affairs. His latest, Unreliable Witness, is concerned to explode what its author calls espionage myths of the Second World War. Over the last few years, for instance, we've been led to believe that Coventry was bombed by the Germans primarily because Winston Churchill wanted to preserve his access to German intelligence secrets. You dispute this?
Yes, indeed. I looked very carefully at the Coventry myth, and the story has always been that Churchill sat back and did nothing, and he allowed the bombers to flatten the city simply because we were reading the German codes. We knew that the attack was going to take place, but Churchill could not jeopardize that whole organisation, that whole operation. So he allowed Coventry to be flattened, hundreds of people, thousands of people injured and killed, and all to protect this one secret source. Well, that is a myth that's grown up, and I discovered, to my amazement, that Churchill did indeed know that the bombers, the German bombers, were heading for Coventry. He wasn't told days in advance. In fact, I discovered that he was told at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon of the actual attack. But what I found was fascinating was that he did indeed let them go, because he had been told, he was led to believe, that there were very effective countermeasures and that the Luftwaffe would actually be dropping their bombs somewhere else,
and
not on Coventry.
What went wrong?
Unfortunately, the little transmitters that were used to divert the bombers, the frequency was set on incorrectly, and the bombers actually found their target right in the centre of Coventry. So it is quite untrue to say that Churchill sat back and did nothing, knowing that all of these people were on his conscience.
How did the myth then arise?
It started originally with one author not being able to have any kind of access to official documents, who wrote from memory. From that moment onwards, other authors came along relying on his evidence, and they gradually built up from that. And now, of course, you pick up a history book and it is established fact, apparently, that Churchill sat back and did nothing, purely to protect his very secret source.